What is up, YouTube? My name is Eben, and this is episode 9 of our Pokemon themed deck Fusion. And we're trimming down the last few cards. In fact, the next episode, episode 10, will be our very last episode of this, and then we're going to do something very different for Theme Deck Thursdays after that. In fact, they may not even be Theme Deck Thursdays for a while. Spoiler alert. But the first card we are going to cut is going to be our last Pokemon Center Lady. It's not that this card isn't necessarily an interesting target for Versus Seeker. It's not that we don't occasionally have use for it. It's just that it's not useful enough, often enough, to justify its place in the deck. Too often it's just kind of staring at us, and it's an okay play, but it just doesn't have enough oomph, essentially. We don't have the luxury of big, heavy HP Pokemon to throw out very easily. Swampert is kind of difficult to build up. So we definitely want to be thinking more about our tempo than trying to sit on top of something with a lot of HP, because we really don't have quite that luxury. We gotta, offense is our best defense, essentially, I guess is the best way to put that. The next card we're going to cut is one of our Professor's Letters. This is going to leave us with 2 copies. Part of the reason we're cutting this, we're still going to be going for deck thinning and still getting those energies out quickly for our alpha growth, but part of the point, in fact, the point of the rest of the deck other than Swampert is getting energies. And between Heliolisk and Articuno, we've got go-get energies pretty well covered. So we don't really need this third letter, even if it does seem to match our theme very well, which it does. It's just, it's a little redundant, so we're going to cut it and make space for something a little more practical. Next thing we're going to cut our 2 copies of Tierno, and these were actually a little bit harder for me to cut than you might expect. It's just that, once again, a lot like Pokemon Center Lady, it just doesn't do enough. That's kind of the problem with this card, unfortunately. There are times when you draw 3 and not have to get rid of anything in your hand is not so bad, but when we're trying to set up and we depend so much upon setting up our Stage 2, we can't afford to just draw a little and hope for the best. We've got to dig deeper into our deck and make sure we get what we need. So Tierno's going to turn into something more useful too. Our last cut for this round is going to be Switch. And basically, this is more of a conversion. It's a very close call. We have 1 Switch and 1 Escape Rope right now, and basically we're going to cut this Switch out instead of the Escape Rope in favor of the other one, as you're about to see. In fact, why dress it up anymore? Let's just go ahead and say that that Switch is basically turning into an Escape Rope, giving us a little more opportunity to mess with our opponent, get some utility, maybe even buy some time that way, or maybe steal a quick KO with Swampert. That's kind of the idea there. So it's a close call, and you personally can opt for the Switch over the Escape Rope here. Like I say, it's a pretty close call, but what we want to do is definitely know where we stand, create a little consistency, rather than hope I get the Switch or the Escape Rope, whichever one's right for the situation. I'd rather just know, guaranteed I'm going to have Escape Rope, which is Switch, it's just Switch plus a little extra. So the other things we're going to be adding in, other than our Escape Rope, we're adding in our final copy of Shawna. Once again, like I mentioned with Tierno, this is just to dig deeper. We're trying to set up. In many ways, this feels like a combo deck, and so what we're trying to do here is make sure we reach our ideal situation as quickly as possible. So digging more cards deep into the deck is kind of a must. And while Tierno doesn't make you get rid of your hand, he only digs 3 cards deep, whereas Shawna shuffles your hand into your deck, so you're not too likely to redraw the same exact things, and she digs 5 cards deep. So ultimately, hopefully, she's getting you a little bit more of what you need in the long run. Now, the next card we're going to be adding in is from the new set, but I feel like it's alright to include those cards, and that's Ace Trainer. With setup mons like Articuno and Heliolisk, coughing up early prizes is definitely something we can be doing, and if we end up having to sacrifice a few mons to our opponent to kind of buy time, all those things give us an excellent use for Ace Trainer. And of course, in the mid to late game, we do have Versus Seekers to go retrieve it if the situation is right. So it's basically card drawing and a good way to slow our opponents down, which is also very useful for us. Another thing we're going to be adding in is 1 copy of Energy Retrieval. Now, I know in a deck where we have a lot of go-get energy, that might seem kind of counterintuitive. But the thing is, we invest a lot in 1 Pokemon, and when it goes down, well, we need to have guaranteed access to energy, and if our deck is thinning out quickly, or we had to play a Professor Sycamore or a Shawna and send a lot of energy away, this can be a good way to sort of help guarantee that we have those energies, we need to land on Swampert quickly, reliably, easily. It's also another good target for Swampert's diving search ability. And the last card we're going to be adding is we are going to be adding another Ultra Ball. We only have one Ultra Ball, and the second one's going to be very useful for helping consistently get Swampert up and online quickly. And don't forget that we'll probably have to get more than one Swampert up in the course of the game, not just one Swampert and oh, I hope we win. We'll probably have to build at least 2 full Swamperts and start hitting people with those. So that Ultra Ball, once again, is just about increasing consistency. And of course, this gives us another card that's discarding and might end up sending energies to our discard pile, so that energy retrieval is just that much more relevant as a result. So these are our changes for this week. Next week, we'll be wrapping up our project, and we'll take a look at what we've built, and you'll also find out just a little bit more about where we're going to be going on Thursdays from now on. But if you don't want to wait on things like that, what you can do is you can check me out on Twitter and follow me down below. I won't hit you with a million tweets all the time because I'm doing lots of stuff. But what you will get occasionally is updates, warnings that new videos are coming out. Bonus videos will be coming. I'll always let you know that those are happening before anybody else knows. And I will be letting you know cool things like what's going to be happening on Thursdays from now on a little bit before everybody who's just on YouTube is going to get to find out. So if you want to find out all the cool stuff before everybody else does, check me out and follow me on Twitter. So easy. And in the meantime, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you next time.